If you want to feel confident, motivated, successful, and you want to feel like there's nothing you can't do, you've probably asked yourself, do I need more self-esteem or self-compassion? For years, we have been fed the idea that the key to happiness and success is high self-esteem. I remember in my beginning of becoming a therapist, that was the main thing everyone was pushing for. We were pushing to just have people believe in themselves more, to have a higher sense of self, and to have positive thoughts about ourselves. But in this video, we are actually going to compare and contrast the new research and talk about who wins the battle between self-compassion and self-esteem in increasing motivation and confidence in anxiety and OCD recovery. And we might even address too, do you need both? So welcome, my name is Kimberly Quinlan. I'm an anxiety and OCD specialist, and I am on a mission to equip over 10 million people, that is my personal goal, with evidence-based, science-based skills that will actually help them with their anxiety, help them get better. And that is the work that I am so dedicated to doing. And we're here to have a little bit of fun together too. So let's talk about what is self-esteem. Self-esteem is evaluating ourselves positively, often by comparison or by achieving, by performing, by getting better at things. And I totally get that because we want to feel good about ourselves. We want to be able to look in the mirror and have nothing but positive feelings. Now, what we do know scientifically is that high self-esteem is correlated with increased rates of happiness and also with lower levels of depression. However, self-esteem is often contingent on success, appearance, and performance. Now, it often also involves us comparing ourselves, which means we are ranking ourselves against others. And it also creates a degree of instability because self-esteem fluctuates with either achievement or failure. So self-esteem that relies on performance and approval increases our experiences of perfectionism, of the fear of failure, social comparison, and defensive reactions when criticized. And as you can imagine, that is going to leave you absolutely exhausted. I feel exhausted just reading that list as I explain it to you. So we can see so far that self-esteem is a great idea and can have us feeling so good about ourselves. But there are a lot of consequences along the way, and there are a lot of ways in which it can create more suffering. Now let's take a look at self-compassion. Self-compassion is about being kind to ourselves regardless of performance, success, what's going well in your life, how gorgeous you're looking today. Self-compassion is just tending to yourself with loving kindness. It's treating ourselves how we would treat our loved ones if they were going through the exact same situation. Now let's take a look at some key research differences. Now let's talk first about stability. Self-esteem fluctuates with success and failure, whereas self-compassion remains stable even when you fail, even when things go wrong, when everything's going wrong, self-compassion can still remain a constant. Now let's talk about motivation. High self-esteem can sometimes promote avoidance of failure. What that means is it can increase procrastination because you're so afraid of the outcome potentially being that you will fail. All your sense of worth and value will depend on that success. And so as you can imagine, going to do the thing that you have to do feels incredibly scary. Whereas self-compassion is linked to greater personal responsibility. So a sense of, I can do this. This is my job. This is my work. It can increase intrinsic motivation, which is motivation that comes from within, not because of outside successes and outside people's opinions. And it can also help with a willingness to try again after failure. We know that for folks who practice self-compassion, they're more likely to get back on the horse if they've fallen off. Now, when it comes to anxiety and OCD and the experience of anxiety and uncertainty, self-esteem says, I must be good. That's where it's really coming from. It's saying you've got to be good. You've got to have the right thoughts. You cannot let it go. You can't fail. You can't make a mistake. Whereas self-compassion says, this is hard. I can be kind to myself, and I can also do this hard thing. No matter what, I am not going to abandon myself. Now, when it comes to anxiety and OCD treatment, self-esteem tries to eliminate anxiety to feel competent, to be able to move forward, to face your fear. Whereas self-compassion allows the anxiety while reducing shame about having the anxiety and the intrusive thoughts that you're having. Now, there's one thing I want you to remember as we kind of compare and contrast these two things. Self-compassion practice does not mean that you are reducing your standards. It is not about you dropping the ball and lowering it down at all. It's actually about reducing the shame and self-criticism, disregarding whether you have anxiety, whether you have intrusive thoughts, whether you're doing well, or if you're actually really not doing well. And ultimately from there, studies have proven that self-compassion reduces rumination, reduces shame, reduces the fear of negative evaluation, emotional avoidance, and it also increases willingness to engage in exposure and response prevention and corrective learning. Now, I have found for myself, the more I practice self-compassion, the more I feel like there is literally nothing I can't handle. The more I practice being kind to myself, the less scared I am of failing. In fact, I have come to the point where failing isn't even that hard anymore because I don't take it personally. Whereas when I was on the self-esteem wagon, everything felt personal. Now, if you want to go deeper in this and learn the skills that I have taught myself and that I teach all of my clients, I want to invite you to join me. We have a new course coming out called Your Self-Compassion Toolkit. This is an entire toolkit where I walk you through 21 days of activities. You can go at your own pace. It's an on-demand course. There is a workbook that is associated, and you are going to go through these activities. There's video lessons, audio lessons, written down exercises that you can be using, and it's going to help you move into a commitment of practicing self-compassion for 21 days. Now, you can take the course in one day if you really want to go for it. But my hope was to break it down into small baby bites so that you can start to get the hang of these skills and really dive into this work. I promise you, you will not regret it. Now, there's two main takeaways I want you to take away from this episode. Number one, if someone says, I need higher self-esteem, often what they really need is just less self-judgment, less shame, more emotional tolerance, and more courage to be uncomfortable. The second takeaway is self-compassion builds all of that. And importantly, self-compassion does not require you to believe that you're amazing and to look perfectly and to be succeeding all the time. It allows you to be imperfect and still move forward. Now, as always, I'm going to remind you here that today is a beautiful day to do hard things. So I really hope that you can double down on this work. Now, as always, I'm so grateful you're here. I hope that this was incredibly helpful for you. Head on over to cbtschool.com for all of our resources, and I'll see you in the next episode.